Look in the sky.
It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's Fly By Night Review's review of Superman 2, The Donner Cut. Hey guys, welcome back to Fly By Night Reviews. I'm your host, Kiren.
And Dom.
In preparation of The Flash, out June 16th, me and Dom are reviewing Superman 2, The Donner Cut. The reason why I picked this movie in particular is a lot of people haven't seen it, and I'm a huge, Christopher Reeve fan. I believe he's like the pinnacle of Superman. He embodies everything that I love about Superman. And, if you haven't seen this movie, go out and see it. It's great. But before we start the review, give us a like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to us to grow this channel. Leave a comment. Do anything that kind of helps the algorithm. It'd mean a lot. But let's get into the movie. What do you think, Dom?
God, it's been so long since I saw the original cut of it. It was kind of hard to figure out some of the scenes. I was like, okay, this seems new, but yeah, it was. From what I remember, this was better than the original cut.
Yeah, I think the last time I saw this particular cut was when my son Oscar was like literally a few days old. And I grew up, loving the original movies, and I think I had the part 2 on VHS. Like, I think I recorded it on TV way back when.
I remember me and my cousins would watch Superman 4 over and over again, and then then watching it recently, it's like, oh, this was bad.
Yeah, I saw that one in the theater, and it was like a double feature with He-Man and Superman 4. It was like and that was like back in like 87, so I was like really small. But yeah, so part 2 has always kind of been a favorite of mine. I loved Zod. I loved like that whole aspect. But up until I saw the Donner Cut, I didn't realize that. So basically, Richard Donner, he filmed both 1 and 2 at the same time, but somewhere down the line during part 2, another director named John Lester took over. I don't know what reason. Maybe they didn't like
clashing with the studio or something.
Yeah,
it's usually what it is. But
yeah. So it was one of those things that was kind of like the early Warner Brothers growing with the filmmaking process, and so I think this film was kind of as close to Richard Donner's original concept, but this one definitely if you've seen the original or the theatrical version, part 2, it's very campy, like more campy than what we're expected to
that cellophane-esque.
Yeah, I mean, so basically this cut, like they took away some of those like really campy moments. I can't really remember what. I know there was a scene where an ice cream cone like falls on somebody's head.
Oh yeah, and there was more. There was also more with the Niagara Falls location. I remember, or at least I remember.
Yeah.
Than what this cut had. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it would have been a good idea to probably watch the theatrical cut before watching this other one, but I honestly think kind of all the added scenes with Jor-El and Superman kind of added to the story more. It was a little bit more serious, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it was also it came out in '80, so their special effects are looking a little rough.
But I mean, even for then, it still holds up better than some some effects that were 5 years ago.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, the fact that Christopher Reeve was such a presence that
even what was he? He was 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, he's 6'3", 6'4".
And he was I actually saw a picture pop up where it showed him working out, getting ready for Superman. It's like, oh wow, that's you can't really tell because of the suit material back then.
Yeah,
but it was quite impressive.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what I love about these earlier movies. It was all about the acting. It was about the kind of Superman was never about his muscles. It was always like he was powerful because he came from Krypton.
Right.
And
that also made it more believable that just because he wasn't super jacked, that he was stronger.
Yeah, I mean, even though I'm wearing the Man of Steel, the Zack Snyder version of Superman, like I'm not a huge fan of Man of Steel, to be honest. Like, I like Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
I think he could have been a good Superman if he was given a proper
script
and he was actually in I see what kind of angle they're going with, like they wanted to make a serious Superman or whatever, but
right.
for me,
Zack Snyder was he's like too much of a fanboy of like Ayn Rand and that whole kind of thing, and so he tried to push Superman into that corner. It's like, that's not really Superman. That's more of a character like the Question, but about that.
I think if anything, it could have been saved for like a sequel or something. Right. You know what I mean? Like the initial introduction to Superman should have just been crazy amazing, but it was like it was I guess it was okay. I mean, I didn't hate the movie Man of Steel, but it was but comparing it to the first and second Superman movies, even though it happened 40 years ago or whatever, or over 40 years ago, it still had the comic book feel and the essence of Superman. And Christopher Reeve is pretty much, I don't think he's ever going to be topped. He kind of perfected that role so well, especially him being Clark Kent and
he had that perfect balance. He was it's just I can't see him being topped as Superman. People will try. Brandon Routh, if he had been given a better movie, I think he would have gotten close to Superman, because I watched when he got to do Superman again. And the TV show.
It the CW show? Yeah.
That was better writing than the Superman Returns.
Yeah, I mean, so it's funny to me because it's they just can't seem to get Superman right, and I'm really hoping that
James Gunn.
Yes. James Gunn, does justice with his new Superman movie coming out in a couple of years. Yeah.
After seeing Guardians 3, I have a lot of faith in what he can do, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he really, he respects the Richard Donner films a lot, and just the whole concept of Superman being kind of like a helping people, saving people.
Right.
That's kind of his character, and in this movie, he did a lot of that, and had a lot of I just love the way he portrayed the juxtapose of him being Clark Kent, kind of buff, a buffoon almost, and then
kind of slouching, had the baggier clothes, and
it was very just a classic kind of portrayal that I don't think could ever be surpassed in my eyes. I think also because Christopher Reeve didn't really do a lot of movies after that. He did a few, but most of the people know Christopher Reeve as Superman. Yes. And I feel that kind of makes him Superman in real life. And plus he was a humanitarian, even after his accident, him falling off the horse and getting, wheelchair bound and all that stuff. He was just a good human being. So it kind of I guess art imitates life type thing,
Right.
But yeah, I suggest you go watch this movie. I don't know if it's on HBO Max. I don't think so.
No, it's not, but it's on. You can buy or rent it on Amazon.
Okay, yeah. It's definitely, I would watch the original just so you can kind of compare. I honestly like this version better. It's a little bit more serious, a little bit more streamlined, even though the ending kind of doesn't make any sense.
The ending was a little weird, but
a little plot holy.
Yeah. But it very much had a similar tone to the first movie, and it seems a little more complete, especially when you look at the two together. Yeah,
for sure. And but I think it's an overall good flick. Watch 1 and 2 together; it fits really well. But yeah. Well, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed that. As always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe below. Let us know what you think of Superman 2: The Donner's Cut. Did you like it?
What's your favorite Superman? Was that Christopher Reeves?
That's a good question. Who is your favorite Superman? leave a comment, let us know. On that note, we will catch you next time.
Peace.